So this happened on the way home last night. Hey guys, Joe here, and I wanted to do this video on the way to work because on the way home from Connecticut, hope you guys had a great Christmas by the way, Thumper hit 100,000 miles. Is it any kind of real milestone? Not as much as it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, a car hitting 100K was like the stuff. Nowadays, when a car hits 100K, it's like, all right, now what do I do with it? Now, the only thing about it that is impressive to me anyways is how fast I hit it. I expected it to take a full 3.5 years to do. I've averaged my miles per year at about 30,000. I actually managed to do it in 2.5 years, and actually less than that, because while I wasn't making videos a couple years ago, I've had plenty of hospitalizations and time where I couldn't drive the Mustang. So all in all, I've actually done 100,000 miles in under 2 years, which means I put almost 50,000 miles a year on the car. What does that mean for Thumper? Well, she's getting a new clutch next month. Definitely need one. The fact is, believe it or not, I got 100,000 miles out of the stock clutch and the stock brakes. I have the original factory installed brakes on this car. That is pretty good. So to all those people out there that think I beat on my car, and you know who you are because you've met me in real life, and you say, oh, why do you drive so fast? Why do you beat on your car? I don't beat on my car, I drive my car. There's a difference, kids. My car will still do 160 miles an hour 2.5 years and 100,000 miles later. And that's a little bit of a lie. I don't know if she'll still do 160. I have done 135, 140 in it in the last year, but I don't want to try to max it out anymore. 100,000 miles on the motor, be it that it's all freeway mileage, still I've probably lost 5% of my power, if not a little bit more, and I can feel that. When I run premium now, it feels almost like I'm running on mid-grade, and that just happens over time. Parts wear down a little bit. I want to pull the heads off this thing and see how it looks inside, but it doesn't smoke. It never has a hard time starting. All I've done to it in the last 2.5 years is I put a set of plugs in it at 50,000 miles, and I'll probably do that again when I do the clutch. Now, you don't have to do plugs every 50,000 miles or every 30,000 miles, or you can actually decide what you want to do. That's not musically, that's just me switching hands. But I suggest if you have lifetime plugs that you at least pull them and check them. With this car, I changed them at 50,000 miles, and I actually got a little bit better fuel economy because I went to a slightly better plug. Next time, I'll probably run the same plug unless I upgrade any of the driveline, and maybe I'll go to, since it's naturally aspirated, a hotter plug. If I eventually go forced induction, I'll run a colder plug, which is what is required. You don't want detonation, so you run a colder plug for forced induction. Anyway, moving back to the car, how's it held up? Well, except for the vibrating mirror, which I need to replace because I've tried to fill the back of the mirror with stuff, it's been really good. I mean, 100,000 miles, cars don't know age, they know mileage. So all the car knows is that it's got 100,000 miles. But in terms of time, it could take 10 years to do it, it could take 1 year to do it, or it could take 2.5 years to do it. It doesn't matter to the car. What matters to the car is how you maintain it. So, that being said, it's going to stay with full synthetic since it doesn't burn any oil. It's going to get a new clutch. I think I'm going to go with the stage 2 clutch this time. And when I do it, I'm going to put a new shifter in it. The Barton shifter probably. It looks pretty nice. And I have to consider what to do with, you know, the transmission mount, because the way it's set up now, it's got a hollow mount inside the transmission, not inside, but you know, under the car, which allows the transmission to flex more, which causes me to miss shifts to third when I'm accelerating around any kind of curve in the road. I want to cure that by putting a solid mount in there, which helps keep the transmission in line, because as anybody that owns a Mustang knows, or anybody with the MT82 transmission in their car knows, it's a remote mount shifter. It's not bolted directly to the top of the transmission like a Tremec is. So the transmission flexes, the shifter doesn't move at the same angle, you can cause a little bit of binding issues, things like that. So, Barton shifter. I know a couple of guys that have them, seems pretty cool. Gonna do the clutch and gonna do the brakes. Once I do that, we'll make another video and we'll just keep moving on. Maybe I'll do a tuner first to see if I can get back some of the power it's probably lost. And I'd actually love to throw it on a dyno to see, what it's actually making now. So, last thing is, I've decided to stop using my bad accent. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say I'm very appreciative of you guys watching these videos. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to suggest any parts you think would be a good upgrade to Thumper, nothing wild, of course. I can't afford major upgrades. And then, yeah, leave me a comment and subscribe. We need 6 more in 5 days, so that'd be really cool. I really want to hit 250 before the year ends. And again, it's not a major goal for anybody other than me, but it's just a goal I want to see for thee. That's it for me.